thinking not only we could do things on this planet, but we could do them on the moon. The dark side of the moon has been photographed. Oh, thank you, Eileen. You caught me there on the slide change. Thank you. See, that's why you're a professor and I'm not. I'm still a student. The um, the idea of going to the dark side of the moon, which the Russians have photographed, being able to go to Mars or any of the asteroids, is something that could be included in a virtual reality dig. And what are the benefits of using virtual space? Well, one, it's very inexpensive. Anyone, anywhere, as long as they have access to a computer, would be able to see different parts of the world, do digs in them, be able to go backwards or forwards in time, and be able to learn something at minimal cost. And also for those areas, unfortunately, where there is war, there's famine, there are political, social, economic disagreements, that would keep one out of harm's way. Um, the other idea is that this has multiple uses. It could be used for the kids in school K to 12, for college students. It could be used in workshops for those people that might be going on a cruise, let's say to the Antarctic, going to a cruise to Peru. This could be a preparatory um, way of inviting people into that environment before they've actually seen it. So that way they see the visual part, but once they get there, they can see the real part, the dirt, the flora, the fauna, the animals and things like that. So it could be used as a lecture tool or just as a travel tool. Um, it also could be used for leisure. If Stephen and I have had a hard day at work, and he's got to see his 4-year-old, and I don't have a 4-year-old, but I wanted to get away and just let my mind drift, I could do it in a space where I haven't been before and allow me to just relax. There are with this, in going to all of these different places, there are different types of archaeological digs. Stephen will go into the details with um, being underwater, being in different environments, the desert, the jungle, the mountains, that lend itself to virtual reality. Another aspect is what tools are used in a particular dig. Um, and that Stephen will go into detail with, but it'll range from a shovel to a brush, depending on where they are, depending on how deep the particular object is. Is that King Tut's tomb? One of the people was doing um, an examination of the room and decided to X-ray and found secret chambers behind it. So we thought, oh, wow, what's behind that wall? What are those particular tools? Um, yes, I'm still on the same slide. The assessment Steve's going to go into in depth for those for K to 12, college, and workshops, where he will tell you how we will assess success in being able to go into the environment. And badges, he will go into detail on what would constitute winning a badge, what types of badges would be available, and I'm going to give Steve the floor, so if we could go to the next slide, that would be great.
Can everyone hear me? Okay, so with this, this virtual dig site, there's a Blackboard course that sort of is a wraparound for the dig sites. So in the Blackboard course, there are 6 modules within it. We consider this to be the home base of the course, and in each module, students will be traveling to dig site. The dig sites are simulations that represent real dig sites in 6 parts of the world. Each module contains a dig site, a discussion forum, a written assignment, and supportive materials such as YouTube videos and scholarly articles. The course has badging opportunities to add more incentive for digging. There is also an introduction module that contains a syllabus as well as various documentation relating to archaeological technique, tools, and contact information for museums located near the dig site in the real world. So if a student wants to ask a question about an item they found within the dig site, they may be able to contact someone at a museum where the actual dig site is in the real world. Can change the slide, please. Okay, so each week, as I said, students will go into a dig site and pretty much dig. For artifacts, the artifacts and the experience of digging is the work done in the course, is what the work that's done in the course is based on. So meaning like the work that the students are doing in the course is based on the actual digging that they're doing in the virtual space. And if this course is developed, the most difficult part of developing the course is the programming of the dig sites themselves. So we envision that a random number generator would be used to account for artifact rarity. So basically when you're digging, let's just use 1 out of 100. Let's say you dig 100 times and maybe 30 times a common item would come up, and then out of 100 times, and then out of 10 times out of 100 an uncommon item would come up, and then maybe two or three digs, or out of, for a rare item it would be like 2 times out of 100 digs. So if that makes sense, it's kind of like if you've ever collected baseball cards, or anything that's like that has like some sort of rarity. That's kind of like that. So trying to simulate that of rarity in a dig site, so that when the students are digging, they're not always coming up with a rare artifact right away. And in the beginning of the course, the more basic tools are used. And as they progress through the course, they'll be introduced to more advanced tools as they move on. And they'll learn about one tool per module. And so we see this aspect of the course as the linchpin of the course. And because this dig site, it can be used in other applications. Like Wallace touched on it a bit, but museums, even anything really. I mean, like if there's even even if like a museum at a dig site wants to use it, or like some sort of children's museum, a professional development workshop for people who are studying archaeology, and then so also the actual dig sites themselves and the work done within it would be worth 50% of the overall grade. Next slide, please. So this is kind of my graphic heavy slide here. I'll just go through it really quickly. So these are the 6 dig sites. We picked varying terrains just to kind of illustrate what type of dig sites we could. We're requiring students to type or write about their experience within the dig site, and they're required to make 1 post and 2 replies to peers, and that's worth 25% of the overall grade. And next slide, please. And the next slide is for written assignments, and those are essays that discuss artifacts found within each dig site. Research has to be done to determine why that artifact that they found was historically significant or culturally significant. Maybe it was significant to the art and agriculture in the area, and that's worth 25% of the grade. And this has a badging element tied into it. The grades, any grade above 90%, they'll earn a badge for it. And then if you could go to the next slide. So again, like I said, there's that badge there. Those badges, there's 6, so there's 12 badges total. 6 for written assignments, 6 for rare artifacts. And with enough time spent in a dig site, students would be able to find rare artifacts. It's just we want to incentivize going into the dig site and spending time in there. And maybe they have to spend a couple hours in the dig site to pull out a rare item, but they'll earn a badge for it. And if they're able to earn all 12 badges, they get 5 points of extra credit. If they only get 6, they earn 2.5 points of extra credit. And on the left side, those are examples of badges, and that could be used for this project. And with that said, I'm going to give whatever time I have left